And we thank you for joining us today on Issues and Answers to talk with the Congressman from Lufkin about some recent trips that he made into Afghanistan. We also want to touch on the defense appropriations. And since the man is on two subcommittees, Defense and Foreign Affairs, we want to talk with him about those two items too, our defense budget and the state of our foreign affairs and where we stand in the world today. You have made 3 trips into Afghanistan, correct, Congressman?
Two, and one to the Afghan border with the rest of the subcommittee. That's the most recent trip. But in every trip, we've met with, including this last time, we've met with the freedom fighters themselves.
What have you learned over there? What's the situation?
Well, it's too bad that the American people are not privy to the situation there, because it's one area in which the good guys are winning, believe it or not. There being an enormous number of Russians killed. The Afghan freedom fighters have just got indomitable courage and determination. They're rolling hand grenades down the barrels of gun barrels of tanks. They pretty well have established control of some 80% of the countryside. The Soviets control nothing but Kabul and the roads in and out, and the roads in and out are interdicted daily. The Russians are suffering a lot of casualties, and their morale is very bad. The soldiers are all drunk all the time. They're trading hashish for gasoline, and the Russians don't quite know what to do about it.
What sort of impact did your trips have on the Congress? You went back with word of all this, I'm sure, to your colleagues. Has the consciousness level of the Russian involvement in Afghanistan been raised in the Congress as a result of those trips?
Very much. The first 2 trips, I came back and talked a lot. The other trip I really wouldn't have made, except the other members of the Foreign Affairs Subcommittee wouldn't go unless I went. So I wanted to go to do a little missionary work, and all of the members came back extremely enthusiastic about us providing more assistance to about the West providing more assistance to the freedom fighters, because they're so brave. They're killing a lot of Russians, and it's costing the Russians an enormous amount of money. The estimates are for every dollar we spend, it costs the Russians about 90. So it's very cost effective.
So why aren't we supplying more things to the freedom fighters?
Well, that's a very good question. I think we should, and I think the Congress is going to insist that we do. We have to keep in mind that Pakistan, which is right there exposed and daily intimidated by the Russians, don't want to see World War III break out right across their border. So there's a level of sophistication in which we probably would not reach, but we can do more, and I think we will do more. A trip to one of those hospitals really break your heart.
Has the United States provided any aid to the Afghanistan people?
Well, that is a military secret, but President Sadat, before he was assassinated, on television, on worldwide television, announced that somebody was purchasing arms from Egypt and other countries that had Eastern Bloc arms, and he wasn't. It doesn't take a whole lot of imagination to figure out who that is.
Why aren't we doing more? Is it the fact that we do not want to get into a face-to-face confrontation with the Soviet Union over Afghanistan? Is that the primary?
I think that it's been a matter of gradualism. I think that we have not been far off the mark in the extent to which we would allow the kettle to boil. We have to be sensitive to Pakistan's vulnerability to Soviet threats and intimidation, and that's one reason it's so important that we help Pakistan and help provide it with the security arrangements that will make them feel confident in going on with what has to be a rather dangerous situation for them. But the Pacs are very tough. They now have F-16 fighter planes. They have M-60 tanks. They're the best mountain fighters in the world. The Russians, with the kind of bloody nose they're getting in Afghanistan, I'm not sure they want any more of it. These guys, they call them Pathans. Those are the warriors from the northwest provinces, and I'm not sure the Russians want much more of what they're getting.